I have arrived at MAM TOR and it's cloudy, but it's not low lying cloud like when I left the Roaches. So I was there yesterday, stayed overnight, and it was misty. Here it looks quite clear, so I think I'm going to go up onto the ridge line. It looks like there's a path here that goes up to the ridge line, so I'm going to go that way. Obviously going to take you with me. I should make sure I take a drink with me first, but that's the plan. This is the first time I've parked down here on this bit of road. This is the old MAM TOR road. Fairly empty, I've definitely seen it busier than this, but it's nice. It's quiet, it's a little bit out of the way. I'm going to get a drink ready and then we shall head off. The time is currently 12:39. Time for dinner. I am hungry. I don't know what I'm going to have. I do know I'm having a cup of tea. It's very cloudy and it's quite muggy. I didn't actually record much of the walk. In fact, once I got up to back TOR, on the way back I didn't record anything. But I know I'll vlog that at least twice, walking along there, possibly 3 times. So I'm not that fussed about getting it again. It's also incredibly windy up there, so there's no chance I could do audio either. That's all falling apart. Right, that's the wrong way round, that way, thank you. I think I might go for a cheese butty. One thing I do need to get in here is a set of decent kitchen knives. Not sure where I'd put them yet because you can't leave them out. Because the police might think you're a bad person if you do that. Not that you ever have them out in a place in a kitchen at home, but in a vehicle, well, that's a problem. They cannot be accessible. It's a shame really I don't have any Branston pickle in. I wish I thought about that. I'll have to see if you can pick up small jars of them. I'm sure you used to be able to. Failing that, some red onion. Although ketchup does work okay. I actually can't remember the last time I had Branston pickle. Right, that'll do that. HP that one. Ketchup on these ones. Oop, that splurts. We'll spread that. There we go then. I'll put the cheese away first. Bit of milk in my tea while I'm at it. See, the view's over that way. Always park the wrong way for the flaming view. I don't have a teaspoon out. I'll get a teaspoon out. Just need a little mint or something to put with it. Right. Food time. So up there, where are we? There. That's back TOR. That's where I walked up to first. And just down there is the gate that I walked through onto the path. You can see a couple of the paths in the middle there going on up to the ridge line, and then right up back in these trees here is MAM TOR. If I think about it, I'll try and pick up a better shot later on. But I'm doing this handheld at the minute. So I'm having to juggle a couple of operations here. And shade the screen so I can see what it's looking at. Then over in the distance there, that's Win Hill in the distance there. Nice spot. Especially in the sun here. The sky's cleared up more than I expected it would. A lot better than at the Roaches this morning. I am level front to back, I am outside to side, but it's the driver's side that's up, which is where my head's at where I sleep, so that's not too bad. For one night I'm not going to worry about it. Otherwise I'd get my blocks out and level off. I noticed on the last video I did on this camera there were a few shots on the second and third day that were out of focus. And I think that's just because the focus shifted to the wrong place. And that's a cloud just come right over. Got dark in here fast. That's my view out of the front. So whereas earlier I went up that path, this time I'm going down the road. Which loops all the way down to there somewhere. Just got to get past these guard sheep. That was easy. Sky's really cleared up. I was not expecting that to happen today. I think I've already said that once, maybe even twice, but I've said it again. Right, I'm just going to hop over this break in the road here. And I'll probably pick you back up a little later on. That's nowhere near exposed enough. I got back from the wall a couple of hours ago. Walk. Wow. Wrong word. I was close. One letter out. I ended up not recording anything down there. Pavements were way too busy to stop and do anything. It was also way too hot to really stop and do anything. So I walked back up. I've been reading for the last couple of hours. Done a hot chocolate, had that. Time is currently 20:58, so almost 9 o'clock. Now I think I'm pretty much nearly done there. Even though my phone says it has 4G, I have absolutely no internet here. I had none down Castleton. I had a bit earlier when I was on back tour, but that's it. There's no internet anywhere around here. So I can't look at the weather. Don't know how Google Maps is going to work. I think it should be okay for the area that I'm in at the minute. But that's not going to load much either. So that's today done. And this battery is now down to 18%. So gonna charge this up, I think, or switch it out for one of the spares and put that on charge. I'll pick this up again then in the morning. It's 5:20. Long time since I've been up this early. Currently 7:20. Van's all packed up, ready to go, so I think I might take off from here soon and head down to LADYBOWER. See what it's like around there. Yeah, I won't be against parking here again if I'm back up this way anytime soon. It's pretty decent. It's a nice gentle walk into the Great Ridge there. Yep, I'm just going to make sure everything's locked down ready for driving. And I've arrived at LADYBOWER Reservoir. It's about 8:15 at the minute. Still plenty of spaces at the side of the road here. It's a nice view, good park up. I'll have to remember this one. I won't make use of that bin because it's looking rather full. And over there we do have a cell tower by the looks of it. I'll point you that way. You can see Win Hill up there. That crag up there, I believe, is Bamford Edge. I know there's some climbs on that bit of rock because I've seen pictures of it looking back out over the reservoir. But I don't think I'm going to go check any of that out today. I'm not going to walk around the reservoir today because it looks to be a very long walk. I don't have provisions for it. I would want my bigger flask of water that's at home. I'd also want some snacks to take with me. Can't believe I didn't think to put any biscuits or crisps in. That was stupid. I can't get any decent aerial footage either because I'm pretty sure there's no drones around this bit. Which is a shame. Or it was a case of no drones over the reservoir. I mean, over on Win Hill you'd be fine and around the walks, but I think the reservoir was an out of bounds area. Right, I am going to have a walk along the road here, see roughly where the walks start, and I might have a look at doing at least a bit of one. It's a very nice view. However, I have noticed that I am on the wrong side because the sun is over there and this is the shady side. So I think I'm going to cross the bridge, go over that side, have a walk down there. I think that's a walk along. Around. I'm really hoping that that path doesn't just go to that lodge and that's it. Oh, I can see a gate in a path up there though, which looks interesting as well. So we'll go see what there is. But yeah, since this is supposed to be the last good day, I don't want to spend it in the shade. This side is much better. It's a nicer view as well. All right, let's go and find out what that is. Apparently it's an operational asset. 7 Trent. That's rather disappointing. From the other side it looked like it was a hobbit hole. That was much more fun. Just a water house, pump house thing, I guess. Right, looks like we're heading into the shade. Well, this just blocks the view. This is as far as I'm going to go on this walk. I think I'm going to head back to the van. I have had a quick look on Google Maps and keep walking along here. It eventually goes off left onto the hills back there. And it comes back down where I mentioned earlier that there was a gate on the other side, this side of the reservoir. Doesn't look a particularly long walk, probably a few miles. But it's coming up to midday, which means midday heat. Although there is a bit of cloud coming. And as I said earlier, I'm just not provisioned for it. So I shall mark that off as one to come back to when I know I've got enough water and some food to take round with me. But otherwise, that's some good scouting. I don't know whether I'll stay where I am or drive round a bit. I did just find the car park, but it's paying display, so forget that. I don't like that sign either. It would also be better to do this when I don't accidentally leave the spare batteries for this camera on charge in the van, which is what I've done. This one's already down to 81%, and it's a fresh one this morning. So, carrying spare batteries with you when it burns through this fast, because, well, it's a pretty energy intensive camera. You can tell I've stepped into the sun now, can't you? Yes, I would like to do this walk again. Well, not again, I've not done it once yet. But I shall make sure I have food, water, spare batteries. And hopefully not forget anything else. Because it does look like it would be a nice walk. I do have my binoculars with me this time. Did remember that. One other reason that I wanted to get back to the van was to get the butter out of the heat, because I'd left it up above the sink here, and in this temperature it would be in danger of liquidizing, being less solid. Anywho, been back for a while, and now it is time for dinner. So I'm going to finish my bacon off, I should probably flip the frying pan first, but that one. Finish them off. Wash hands. Towels down here. And it's going to be a bacon butty. That there's my view. Sky's gone very clear again, and it is roasting in this patch here. So much so, I've put my little towel to dry. Has been out there for a couple of hours. Yikes, there we go. And the temperature in the van is 30 degrees. And it's just past 2:15. It's very nice but very hot. And I can smell something burning. I'm pretty sure it's not in the van. Right, I think I might try and go for a quick walk down that way. The other direction from earlier. Probably won't get far because there's no shade. It's roasting. I can feel my shirt sticking to me already. But I just need to stretch my legs a little bit. So I'll pick back up later. It is roasting in here. 30 degrees. So I've done something that I've not done before. I'm using the ventilation option on the diesel heater. See whether that's going to make any difference. Yeah, that's blowing some air around. There's a lot of motorbikes about today. There's something I forgot to say last time I picked the camera up. There must have been about 70-80 bikers all in a line, just a biker gang going down. That was noisy. Well, my original plan for this evening was to have tea and then go do the shorter walk around, because, hold on a sec, I looked it up in my book, and if I can find the page again, here we are, Crook Hill. That's the short walk, so I started it, and it's there. 6 kilometres, which works out as about 3.5 to 4 miles, I think. Time 2 hours. I was thinking wait until about 6, half 6-ish, then going around and doing that, but I'm not sure it's actually going to cool down enough. I've just walked down to the dam and back, and that's sweaty. So I'll see how that goes after, and then the longer walk here is it that one? A longer walk here, then Derwent Edge and back tour. Which, if I'm looking at this the correct way, yes I am. That's over on that side. That's 12.5 kilometres, which works out as about 10-ish miles, 9 or 10 miles I think. That's a 4-hour walk. I won't be doing that one today. That's possibly one to go and do in the future. Then is there another one around here? Not in this book, there isn't, but it looks like there are quite a few other walks around. Yeah, that Crook Hill one I think would be a good one to do. Would also be a good one to vlog maybe, and potentially some photos. That's another thing. There's some good photos to take on the reservoir here, especially down the side of the road there. However, because it is down on the road and it's an A road with heavy traffic, it's not going to be vloggable because of stuff like that. Just way too much traffic to do that, which is a shame. So I'll probably end up just taking them off video at some point. I do have some that I've taken on my phone just, so if I haven't already thrown some of them up, I'll be doing that now. Some good shots. Right, well, I'm going to leave to it for a bit then. It is almost 7:15 and I've come up the walk on Crook Hill. Don't actually know which one Crook Hill is. I think that might be it over there by the looks of it. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm very glad I did not do this earlier during the heat. East is over that way-ish. No, west, sorry, because that's where the sun sets. See, I nearly got that right first time. But yeah, sun setting over there, and that's the direction I've just walked up from. I'm on the route back now, roughly halfway. If we come round here, there are people up on that hill there. Don't know what hill that is yet, I'll have to find out. And then we keep panning, and here we have MAM TOR, is that one there. Let me see if I can get these zoom in right here. Yeah, you should be able to make out the walkway along the ridgeline there. If not, then I'll put the long lens on and get one with that lens if I can, and insert that over this bit, so then you will see it. Then if I keep panning round, we've got sheep. And I keep coming round here, and that there is Lewes Hill, the other trig point around here, which means the reservoir is just down in front of that tree line somewhere, but behind these hills here. And I think that outcrop there, I think that might be the actual hill of this walk. And then we're looking towards Bamford Way, Bamford Edge, back round. I think, is that Kerbar? Kerbar Froggatt Way? I'm not entirely sure of my geography at this point. Or that might still be Bamford Edge. And there we are, full circle. One thing I'm actually surprised at is how the horizon line along here is pretty much steady. Oh, you can see from here, again I might need to change lens for this, but you can see the quarry there, right at the back. So overall it's been a pretty nice walk. Along the reservoir is fine, that's mostly flat. Then it's steep walking up to these fields here, and then it's a fairly gentle climb across the fields here. And it looks like it should be all pretty much steady back downhill now. Hello sheep. No, I wasn't talking to you. Yeah, not bad views up here. Nothing particularly photogenic, but not bad to look at. I then am going to move on a bit. But I'll make sure to get those shots with the longer lens first. I haven't forgot. This time of day with this kind of lighting, at this time of year, I think there's some photography opportunities with this trailer. That's worth an explore at some point. I did just try and do a over shoulder shot from in the bag, but I couldn't really see what it was pointing at, as I've not figured out how to turn the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi out on this camera yet, but I can actually do that and then connect it to the phone, so I can use the phone as an external monitor. Something I'll have to figure out at some point. But I looked at the footage back and that was just, nah, it's not steady enough to use really. Cows ahead. It is nice up here. Weather definitely plays a part in it, but it is nice up here. Why are those cows moving into that field now? I've got to go through there and hope that there's not a bull. I also need to keep an eye on my shutter speed, because sometimes I turn the camera on and that's not 1/50 like it ought to be. I've caught it a couple of times now. Apparently I stopped recording. As I was saying, I've caught it a couple of times now at 1/60. And even once I caught it about 1/80 or 1/100. It's still filming 25 frames per second, so it's not a massive problem, but having the proper shutter speed does make the image smoother, particularly the motion blur. I can hear an aeroplane. I can see the sun, that's bright. Who would have thought? There's two paths here, there's the one off to the left, the one off to the right. The one off left I think is straight back down. This one to the right, if I remember the guidebook correctly, and I can't be bothered to go in my bag for it now. But this will actually take us to the hills there. So that's the way I'm going to go. Not sure if that's a cow or a bull, but he did just run up this way. That could have been close. God, do I really want to walk up there now? It's there. I'm in the field already, so I may as well. What time are we on? 10 to 8. Should have about another good hour of daylight. I think it's near enough back down to the road from this point anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. I've just got to get past this field of low-lying fog. And here we are at the top. Thank God. All downhill from here. Yeah, this would have killed earlier. So, back to the van, have a drink, and home tomorrow. And what I'm looking forward to more than anything? A nice shower and a cup of tea. Not necessarily together, although I am English, so could happen. That down there is LADYBOWER. Heading down that way next. So down there is LADYBOWER. That way is Win Hill, which I think makes that Lose Hill over there, and tucked behind that is MAM TOR, which if I remember right is 5 miles away, but still a 15-minute drive I think it was. I suppose that's not too bad really, although rather than bring me through Bamford, it did for some reason bring me up along a fairly steep country lane. Did good old Google. I don't think I'll let it do that again. That's Bamford Edge. I'm pretty sure Kerbar is off down that way, Kerbar and Froggatt. Right, I think then, for today's portion of this video, I am fairly certain this is going to be one video. I could be wrong, but I think I'm going to be able to manage it as one video again. But for today's portion, I'm going to leave it off here. Walk back down to the van. Settle in for the night. In which case, I'll pick you back up again in the morning. Well, we certainly feel fresh this morning. It's about 5:10. Looks like the sun's back over the hill there somewhere. I think I'll be looking to set off around about 8-9 o'clock. So it should be something like a 90-minute drive. Not a bad view to wake up to. How's coffee done with? Whew. The good weather should be pretty much over by now. We're on to overcast and hopefully just showers rather than days of rain. The weather app shows rain all next week, but that could just mean that there's a shower at one particular hour and it decides to show that rather than the predominant sun or whatever. But we'll see. That's next week's problem. Traffic here overnight seemed okay. Well, it's definitely a decent view. I might look before I next come out to see if there's any slightly quieter parking down there. Further on the road. I'm surprised there's not more vans stopped here. In fact, it's only me. There's a car some way back down there that I'm pretty sure was there last night as well. There's 2 cars up ahead that I'm guessing possibly were. But I've seen no sign of any other vans stopping over. Well, I can see 8 geese out on the reservoir. So they were up early as well. Good chance you've actually heard them. I did also, whilst I was walking yesterday over that way, hear a cuckoo. So that's one here and one somewhere around the roaches. Apparently they are rare these days. Probably because they've been hunted to near extinction to put in clocks. Right, I'm going to sort out some breakfast and catch up later. We are getting some very nice lighting going on here. So I decided just to have a quick stroll while it's quieter than it was yesterday. See what the lighting's like that way. Looks good. This battery's only got 32% on it, so I'm going to be a bit quicker with this, I think. Because the spares are in the van, as I'm not doing a walk. I should have checked this battery level first. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up here, but there is a rainbow there. Very, very faint one. Which is interesting because it's not actually rained here since last night. Given the forecast that we had been given, it's a lot brighter and more clear than I was expecting it to be. It's almost a shame to be going this morning. On the other hand, it's relatively local. And now the clouds moved, it's stretching all the way over to Win Hill. I'm just finishing up packing, getting ready for the off. This frying pan for £3.50, absolute steal. That's done a lot better than the old wok, and it cleans up incredibly easy as well. So I'm happy about that. So pop that back in. The spatula stays in there now. It also makes getting in and out of this bit of storage much easier than the wok did. That was bulky. It also makes it easier to get this cooker in as well. Right, I think then I'll be done with that. That rainbow's gone, the clouds coming in. There was a bit of drizzle. What are we? 7:26. I'm aware I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 towns to go through, I think. Bamford, Buxton, Leek, and then one more. Yeah, we've got 4 towns to go through. Although being a Sunday, it might be quiet. This is, I'm surprised around here there's a few cars starting to pull up. Oh, actually, I say that, it's only just coming up to 7:30. I feel like it should be 10 o'clock or something by now. I'm not used to being up that early in the morning anymore. Yeah, I don't know where to turn around here. So before it gets too busy, I can either do a 3-point turn on the road here, or I might be able to go down and use a junction, but I don't think there's any turning point as such. So this is going to be it for another video. So if you made it this far, well done, thank you. And don't forget to do the usual stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe for more, leave a comment if you want. Other than that, I shall leave you with whatever you're doing. Well, what you were doing was watching this. You know what I mean.